Hi students, welcome to Maneeth Academy. As you all knows that we are having the NCERT-Economics Foundation Course. As a part of that, we are going to discussing the economics from NCERT from 9th class to 12th standard. Today, we are going to discuss about the first chapter from 9th class economy, that is nothing but the village of Palampur. So you are seeing here, right, in the thumbnail, you are already seeing. So we are discussing the village of Palampur as a part of NCERT-Economics Foundation. We are discussing village of Palampur, first chapter from 9th class. So as a part of NCERT-Economics Foundation, in order to get the knowledge on the Indian economy. So we are going to discuss, so what is the village of Palampur? See, the title is first chapter, the story of village Palampur. This is the first chapter. If you check, here is the story. We are discussing the story of village that is there in the Palampur. First of all, we will discuss where the Palampur. Okay, we are discussing Palampur, where it was located. Located at Uttar Pradesh. Located in Uttar Pradesh, and so it is a village. It is a village, not city, right? We are going to discuss about the village of Palampur. So Palampur is located in Uttar Pradesh, and that is one of the village. The moment when we are discussing with respect to the village, so you might all aware, in any of the village if you taken, so most of the people, 80% of the people, they are primarily, they depends upon the agriculture, right? So in this way, how the Palampur village is having the farming with respect to the agriculture, we are going to discuss in this class, story of village of Palampur. So the Palampur village, it is the main activity. What is the main activity of Palampur village is? What is the main activity of? Main activity is nothing but farming. So in this village, there is 480 families are there. So in the 480 families, 75% of the people, they depends on agriculture, nothing but farming, and 10% of people, they are working as farm laborers. 75% of the people, they are primarily, they depends upon the agriculture, and they nothing but they are doing the farming. They are having own land, and whoever the 10% is there, this 10% they are working as a farm laborers, among which somebody is having their own land, and somebody no land for them, so they are working as a farm laborers. Okay, you understood. Among the 480 families of Palampur, 75% of the people, they are having the farming and they are having their own land. And 10% of the people, they are working as a farm laborers, among which some of people are having the own land and some are not having the no land. Hence, they are working as a farm laborers. Then what about the rest of the 15%? So, these rest of the 50%, they are working as non-farming activity. Working as what, like non-farming activities, right? So any of the village we can take. So most of the cases it will be their main activity is only farming. Okay, now we will see. So how they're farming and what kind of like style they are following in order to get the higher growth towards the high yield of agriculture with respect to the multiple crops. Okay, we know that 50% are like this. So if you are checking here, most of the cases, so always the villages are having farming of what? Rice, wheat, bajra, sugarcane and potato. So the village Palampur is farming rice, wheat, bajra, sugarcane and potato with respect to the different seasons. So here the main Palampur village is located in between Raiganj and Shapur. Okay, from Palampur to Raiganj and Raiganj to Shapur, every day people used to go to buy their items and all. So how the transport is happening between Palampur to Raiganj and Shapur, we will see how it could be. Because of the farming they are doing, rice, wheat, bajra, then obviously whatever the surplus they are having, entire of the surplus, they need to go for sale at somewhere. Obviously at that time the Shapurs are nearest cities. What we can say it is nearest towns. For whom? For Palampur. Whoever the villages are there, they regularly used to go for Raiganj and Shapur for their daily needs and for whatever the agriculture related items that we want. So every day they used to interact with the nearest towns of Raiganj, Shapur from Palampur. Now we will see what is the village condition. So as we are discussing, there is a story of village of Palampur we are discussing. So now what is the exact situation of the village of Palampur? Okay, right. See, if you are looking here, what happened? They are cultivating the rice, right? You can see the agriculture. So I will explain you in detail. We know that the main farming activity is agriculture, nothing but farming. Now we will see what is the farming they are following here. Farming is two types. One is traditional and next is modern. So if you go for the any of the village, so at once people are they are using bullock carts, and sometimes they're they're having cycles. They are bringing all the rice and fertilizers on the cycle or rickshaw, tongas, something else. In the similar way, for the farming level, they are following the two levels of farming types. What are those? Traditional farming and modern farming. Traditional farming in the sense which involves man-made items. What it involves? Man-made items. These are like plough and bullock carts having two cows on their head. They are doing all the farming and all. Next, when it comes for the modern farming, they all are using the machines like we have tractors, we have harvesters, we are having seeds yielding machines, etc. Traditional farming, there are man-made items they are using, just like plough and bullock carts they are using and all farming. When it comes for the modern farming, they are using the machines in the form of what, like tractors, harvesters, and seed yielding machines, etc. So in the upcoming next concept, we will see how these like high yielding variations is coming to picture. So how what are the differences between traditional and modern farming? So which farming technique does the Palampur is following? We will see. Next, here is, we saw the people, one is using tractor and they are taking some sort of jaggery, and if you are checking, there is another bullock carts, they are taking some rice and wheat bundles. You are seeing that. So this is like traditional style, traditional way. This is modern way. So their main activity is agriculture, and they are following some sort of traveling goods from one place to another place. Means that the Palampur is very good at traveling. Nothing but transport. Transport is there. Next, the Palampur is having very good at electricity. And their 100% land they are using. Land they are using 0% is idle. Means that each and every person, whoever is there in the Palampur, they are involving some sort of activity. It might be farming towards agriculture, it might be non-farming activities, and it might be some other transport related activities. Non-farming activities, and one more is like a farming activities. So most of the people, no one is idle, 100% of land they are using, and most of the way the people are very busy towards their work in that particular village. Now, if you see here, we can observe multiple people are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and approximately 6 persons are there. So by observing this figure, so approximately 6 persons are working with respect to what? Machines level they are working. Means that, so they are preparing product. Yes or no? They are preparing some sort of product. All of they are working. Means that, for example, if you want to prepare one shirt, okay, so if you want to have the shirt, first we need to have the cotton, and second one is it should be traveling to some other industry, and there people are there, people using their skills and giving the final good as a shirt. So if you want to have the shirt, we need to have all these things. These are what we call as raw materials. What we call raw materials. So in this way, this is the product. So this is the final of good they are going to be preparing. So I will explain you clearly. Now, if you want to how the like manufacturing and how they are working in this company, if you want to see, first whatever the organization or I can say it is like manufacturing company, or else we want to farming something and we want to construct a building, what we call construct a building. We want to have the manufacturing company, their people are using the works in order to produce the final goods by using the raw materials, and as well as they are having the farming and they are having the building. There are the multiple companies. What is the natural resource for all these things? What will be the natural resource? Obviously, some should be required, right? What will be the natural resource? Do you think, right? I think you guys are following me. I want to go for creating one product, so that is contains some sort of raw materials. We know that very well. Now, where this manufacturing company we are constructing, I want to farming, I want to cultivate some sort of land, I want to construct a building, where we can do, on top of which natural resource we are going to do all these things. So that's what we call factors of production came into pictures. What we call factors of production. Factors of production. Factors of production. So these factors of production is very important in the entire Indian economy till from chapter 1 to till the end of last chapter, because entire Indian economy has been depends upon the factors of production, and each and every day whenever we are discussing the Indian economy concepts, we used to following these factors of production. Now I have asked you, what is the natural resource on top of which we are going to be maintaining one manufacturing company, farming or building, whatever. So for that purpose, the factors of production came into picture. In this, first one is land. What we call the first one? First one is land. Second one is what? Labor. Second one is what? Labor. And third one is physical capital. Later on, this physical capital has been split into two types of capitals. What they are? Physical capital and working capital. Physical capital and what? Second one is working capital. I hope you guys are following me. Don't keep it as a bore. If you know the basics, next concepts easily you can understand, because in NCERT economy books, in the entire syllabus, if you observe, no, first chapter is interlinked with another chapter, second chapter is interlinked with another chapter. For example, I am telling you this is the first chapter as a village of Palampur. Second one is people as resource. There also we used to discuss with this topic. And the third one is poverty as a challenge. So how the poverty we are facing in entire India. So next is food security in India. So first chapter is interlinked with second chapter, and second chapter we are discussing the first chapter items, concepts, and third chapter we are discussing with the second chapter, some sort of basics, and the fourth chapter, food security of India, is discussing with the third chapter with towards some sort of concepts as poverty is a challenge. So that's why the basics are very important. I am repeating once again. Okay. So once the basics are little bit done, then next time I will go by a little bit fast. Now what we are discussing? Factors of production. First one is land, second one is labor, third one is physical capital. This physical capital again we split it into two type of capitals. One is physical capital and second one is working capital. Next, what is the fourth one then? This is the human capital. You understand, right? This is the human capital. So factors of production, first one is what? Land. Second one is labor. Third one is physical capital. Physical capital has been split into physical capital into working capital. Next, this is like a human capital. So if you just define the land, we need land mandatory. Without land, where can we go for farming? Without landing, where can we go for like constructing building? Without landing, without having land, where we can go for like we are creating this manufacturing industries and all. So that's why land is very important. Next, labor is also required. Okay. So labor in order to put the efforts is required. Here what people are doing? This is a labor. All are labor. So on top of land, they are constructed one building, one company. There people are working as a labor. Next, we required capital. That capital in the form of what? Physical capital. This is a fixed capital. Sorry, I forgot it to mention. This is a fixed capital. Fixed capital. So physical capital has been split up into the fixed capital and the working capital. So fixed capital in the sense they are having buildings and some sophisticated items from, we have see pluff to machinery levels. Next, we need to have the working capital. Okay, working capital in the sense, for example, there is a potter is there. Okay, there is a potter. So if you observe here, there is a potter is there. Okay, he is making some sort of pots. Okay, so if you want to do pots, he want to buy some clay, right? If you want to, he go for making the pots, obviously he need to some clay. This clay he is going to buy with some money from his hand. Okay, that is what we called as working capital. So money should be required in order to buy some raw materials like clay. So if you want to create pots, the potter should require clay as what? Raw material. Okay, raw material. So this raw material he will buy with some sort of money from his hand. This is what we call as a working capital. Now you guys are very clear. Okay, so what are the factors of productions we are having? First one is land, second one is labor, third one is physical capital, and fourth is a human capital. What is a human capital? Okay, if you see right here, people are applying their skills and they are having educated, they are having some sort of they are they are having computers. In the village of Palampur, they are having some sort of computers, and they are providing some sort of training in the village people. So human capital is always depends upon their educational and their skills and their, and for example, if you check na, in that village they are following some computers training. So whoever is like educated, they are going to getting the proficiency towards the computers. So till now we saw what are the farming techniques. Okay, what are the farming techniques we saw. What are the farming techniques and what are the factors of productions. Okay, I think you are very clear, right? Farming activities in the two ways, modern and so old way. And next one is factors of production. These are the four things, right? So this is like a traditional and this is like a modern way. Okay, now till now you guys are understand because of these are like very basic and very important in the entire Indian economy. We are going to discuss these kind of things. Fixed capital, working capital, those are mixed together, we call as physical capital, and human capital, where the people are going to use their skills in order to train up somebody to get towards like even education, and they are going to giving some sort of training in the computers in the village of the people. Next we'll see. Next, in the village of Palampur, what is happening, we will see. Right. We are discussing the farming, right? We are discussing farming. So farming in the sense, obviously there is some crops. So these crops will be wheat, rice, bajra, potato, and sugar cane, right? So the Palampur village, the farming is happening with respect to seasons, like what? We have Kharif season. So in the Kharif season, they are going to bajra. So it can be used for cattle feeding. Used for what? Cattle feeding. Next, Rabi is there. During the Rabi, they are going to do some potatoes and all. And after that, they are going to be producing the wheat. So these are the major crops that they are cultivating. They are cultivating in the Palampur. These are the cultivating crops in Palampur towards different types of season. Kharif season, Rabi season, and what are the crops they are cultivating also we are seeing. So here one more thing. In 1960, there is a green revolution is there. What we call green revolution. When green revolution came into picture, before that what happened? Before and after. After of what? 1960 green revolution. Before green revolution came into picture, the yielding of crops are low. When green revolution coming to picture, when it is there is high yield varieties are there. What we call, when green revolution coming to picture during the year of 1960, there is HYV came into picture. High yielding varieties. So I hope you guys are following. When green revolution came into picture, there is high yielding varieties are there. With the help of these seeds, with the help of these HYVs, people are cultivating with these HYVs. So 100% land is cultivating. So per year there are 3 crops. They are yielding. When green revolution came into picture during the 1960s, the high yielding varieties came into picture. These high yielding seeds is giving more yield, so that they are cultivating for 3 crops. I hope you guys are understanding. High yielding seeds are there. That's why they are going to have a more yield and around 3 crops. Hence, it is surplus is there. Surplus is there at farmers. So, whatever the wheat, whatever the rice they are yielding, right? So, all of they are transferred to nearest towns. Nearest towns of what? Shahpur and Raiganj. Shahpur and Raiganj. So, through the green revolution, these are the changes that we are having. When there is no green revolution, people are having low yielding crops. When it comes for the green revolution, people are having high yielding crops with 3 crops. They are cultivating the land, and then 100% of land is cultivating and 0% of land is idle. So everybody is busy with their works. Now you guys are understanding how this high yielding seeds is giving the that much of yielding capability towards the green revolution. This is here where they are following the modern farming techniques. What they are following? Modern farming technique. So with that they are having 3 crops for a year. Right. If you go for like sugar cane is also there. If you go for here, sugar cane is 1 year, 1 crop. Rest all others like rice, wheat, potato and all they are having for 1 year 3 crops they are having. So here we can see how much of surplus is there. How much of surplus is there? We can see within 1 year. Okay. So 1 year, these are due to the high yielding seeds or varieties, HYVs. So this is what all about. Like multiple crops they are cultivating in village of Palampur. Next we'll see what happening. See, if you are seeing here, so we discussed that 3 crops per 1 year and 100% of land is they are cultivating. 100% of land they are cultivating. Accordingly, the survey has been given. If you see here in this diagram, like multiple decades, multiple decades, they are having some sort of survey. There they are going representing in the form of millions of hectares what kind of cultivated area they are having for each and every year. If you check 1950 to 51, 132 millions 132 millions. If you check 1991, 186, 2000, 2001, 186, 2010 to 11, 198 millions hectares. Hectares. Here land are representing with hectare. 1 hectare is nothing but 10,000 square meters. Okay. So they are representing the cultivating land in the form of hectares. So for each and every year, finally 2016 and 17, they are cultivating the land of 200 millions of hectares as a cultivated area. Based on this, you can imagine how much of agriculture has been improved. Agriculture activities are 100% are maintaining in Palampur. Where? In Palampur village. So this is how they are cultivating the land across the multiple decades of the year in that Palampur village. Now still we see what else is there in the Palampur village, right? We discussed, right? HYV. HYV. High yielding varieties or yes also seeds. So high yielding varieties seeds. Now I have one question for you. There is a same plot of land, same land, right? For 1 year they are cultivating 3 crops. How it is possible? So they are not following easy approach where the land fertility will be efficient, but instead they are following the high yield varieties, high yield seeds. If we want to have the 3 crops for 1 year in the same land, we have to use fertilizers. We have to use. You guys are following me, right? Pesticides they are using, and diesel they are using. Farm machinery like tractor they are using, seeds they are using. These are all the modern farming methods we already discussed. Modern farming. So diesel. So if you want to the same land, if you want to make it as yielding for 3 crops, obviously there is a water support should be there. Water support, and similarly electricity is there, and as well as with the roads are also very good. In the Palampur village is well irrigated system. What we call well irrigation system it is having, and so currently electricity is there, and roads are also very good. Good roads, good transport they are having, and electricity is also there. So that's why the village of Palampur is model even for entire all the other villages which are there in the Uttar Pradesh, and even it can be model for the other villages of which are there in the other states as well. If you want to crop 3 crops for 1 year within the same land, so these many things are we need to use, so that so as expected we are getting that much of yielding, and that is becoming as surplus. This word is also very important for us. So surplus, so more than what they are expecting, they are getting the wheat, rice, bajra, and jaggery they are preparing through sugarcane. These are and all. So water supply is very good at Palampur. That's why the Palampur village is like well irrigation system. Electricity is there. Nice roads are there. So that's why they are transporting all of their surplus from one place to another place, one place to another place, so that they are having well and good financial backups. Well and good, financial backups. In order to do that, so there is one bank is there, and they are trying to keep schools is there. Their kids are also going to be educated, and along with that, they are having primary health centers is there. So if you check, right, so they are taking care of their health. They are educated. They are taking care of health, and moreover, they are having bank that represent financial status, and all things. The entire village is having well irrigation system, well irrigation, and moreover, it has electricity. So a village is having these many facilities, then obviously it will be the best and inspired village. Yes or no? Just observe it. So there is educated, health, bank, financial status, well irrigation system, and that's why the Palampur is taking an example for the agriculture and farming. Okay, so ఇప్పుడు ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ లో చూడండి ఒకసారి ఇటు. ఇక్కడ చూస్తే ల్యాండ్ అనేది మల్టిపుల్ డివిజన్స్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్, రైట్? Multiple divisions we are having. So this is the big plot. And is having like internally small plots as well. So these small plots also having small laborers. So whichever is, if we can see there is a big land, and for the same there is small plots are there. So whoever is there, 85% of the people, they are having these big plots or land. If you observe here, so same land is having 3 crops per 1 year, right? If you are cultivating the 3 crops for 1 year, obviously there is some issues will be there towards the land. Okay, see, I'm telling, same land, it is having 3 crops per 1 year. If you check, obviously there is some problems will be there. One is land soil will get the problem, because we are having we see pesticides and fertilizers we are having. So land soil will get a problem. Next is minerals will get dissolved. Minerals will be dissolved. Okay, and not only that one, whatever the land that we are using, that should not disturb the environment for future use. You understood, right? Because of the same land, if you are using like again and again, the same multiple crops are happening for 1 year, obviously minerals will get dissolved, and this land soil will get impacts. It will get impacts, and moreover it will be impact for the environment, because as a citizen we need to keep the environment safe for the future use and for the future generations as well. Now, if you see here, the land is they are farming. Okay, they are farming in various ways. Like what? Somebody is sowing seeds. Somebody is having water. They are providing the water, and somewhere we are using bullock carts or cows for farming. We are using water, and is cows we are using for farming. And next one is we are using the machines we are using. Okay, so these are all comes up with clearly how the crop is cultivating, how the crop is cultivating. These are all represents in here. See, sowing seeds, and somebody they are providing the water. Somebody is like, sir, they are having some fertilizers they are maintaining. Somebody is having like, they are having harvesting, and they are using some cows for the cultivation purpose. So this is one of the, this is one of the functionality that has been takes place. This is one of the activity that has been takes place towards agriculture in Palampur village. And see, there is a one conversation is there. What happened? We saw that there is farming is happening in two ways. One is traditional, and next one is modern way we are having, right? So in traditional way, there is like manually all people are keeping efforts. People are putting their efforts. If you check in the modern, all machines are there. So this is like a tractor, harvester, like sowing seeds. So before modern farming came into picture, here manually people are doing. So manually people are doing through tractor. So if there is no tractor, for example, 10 persons, they will work for 2 or 3 days. If tractor is there, they will finishing entire of their job in 1 or 2 days. And harvest is there. If people 10% people, if they are required for 4 days, the harvest is hardly is taking 1 day. Sowing seeds. Manually people are using to sowing in the land, but there is some sowing seeds machine is there. So this machine is doing within 1 day of 5 persons job in 2 days. So now you understood, when people are having manually, they are having some wages per day. So when there is machines are came into picture through the modern farming techniques, so the people are losing their daily wages, that is impacting for their family survival. Yes or no? I hope you guys are understanding. So when the machines are there people are not required that much. If 10 persons are there, they required only 2 persons. So the rest of the 8 persons, they are keeping as idle. So then how they can survive their family? So this is how the discussion is going to happen from one person to another person, and they are having some 2000 or 1000 they are owing from some other persons. So in the similar way, in order to survive their family members, that is how the discussion is happening, because of the impact of the modern farming by using the tractors, harvesters, sowing seeds machines kind of thing. I hope you guys are following me the same. Now, till now we see what are the farming activities. So we discussed that there is 15% of the people, they are working as non-farming activities, right? So non-farming activities. So what are those non-farming activities? First one is dairy. through which their milk they are transport to Shahpur, Raiganj and all. Next is small scale industries. For example, they are having some shirts, saris and all. So they are keeping one small scale industries they are maintaining. So there the people are used to buy the shirts and saris rather than going to Shahpur or Raniganj, because of the small scale industry has been established there in the Palampur village. Next is shopkeepers. So the shopkeepers is providing the daily groceries. So what are those? Like sugar, salt and tea powder, etc. So what are the daily groceries we want to have for feeding of our family? So the final step is, so the last step is, so they are having transport. Okay, so the Palampur is well and good towards the transport. They are having some tongas, bullock carts, and moreover jeeps they are having, tractors they are having. Okay, so finally they are very good at even non-farming activities also. So 85% of the people, so they are depends upon the farming. Among the 85%, 75% is they are having around agriculture, and 10% is having so farm laborers, and 15% is non-farming activities they are having with respect to the dairy, small scale industries, shopkeepers, and as well as transport towards the tongas, bullock carts for bringing milk to the Shahpur, Raiganj and all. So this is what all about village of Palampur. I hope you guys are very clear towards what I have been, whatever we have discussed. If you have any doubt, I am going to keep the number. So please call to that number, and you can have whatever the doubts you are having, you can call to that number. And weekly, one day, we are going to be there on the live. There you can come up with your doubts and all. Okay. So we will come up with the next class. Thank you. Thank you so much.